Hi, welcome to another Cook With Me video. These are videos that I'm making basically for my grown children who will be leaving the nest at various times, some sooner than later. And these are family favorites that we've enjoyed over the years. Some of them are recent family favorites and some we've been doing for a long time. But rather than have just a recipe, a box, or cards to send along with them, I thought it would be nice to incorporate a video. So this one is a farro salad with a variety of vegetables and herbs. So this is a cold salad. It's a really good picnic food. It's based on Giada de Laurentiis's farro with tomato and herb salad. But I change it up a little bit. So I'll show you what you need. Some things are optional. These are optional. You can throw in zucchini, yellow zucchini. You could throw in some cucumber if you want, but that's optional. I like to put in garlic, and we like a lot of garlic, so I'm actually going to put 3 big garlic cloves in here. You need some type of onion, and I happen to really like the red onion, but you can use white onion, you could use green onions, also known as scallions, you could use chives. It's going to call for tomatoes, so you need some sort of tomatoes. Now, I really like doing this recipe with little tiny grape tomatoes. These are Sun Golds from my patio, and I didn't have a whole lot. I didn't have many tomatoes here either, because these are not that big. These are, not a big beefsteak tomato. Really, you could use any tomato you want. And again, this type of recipe is good because you could vary the quantities really to your liking. So it's really to taste. You will need salt and pepper to taste. You'll need olive oil, and you'll need a balsamic vinegar. Now, you could substitute a red wine vinegar, or maybe even just a regular white wine vinegar or something like that. But we really like the balsamic. You will need parsley. Now, you can also throw in some basil, which it would be a great addition to this. Some other fresh herbs might be nice, are thyme or oregano. Now, those types of things tend to be a little bit stronger, so I would dial back on the quantity of those. I'm going to use a whole big bunch of parsley, the Italian leaf parsley, and you also need farro. Farro is a grain. Now, I already cooked this up. I actually used this one. Trader Joe's has the 10-minute farro. I'm sure other companies have something similar to this. Probably parboiled, but it's really quick. I used the entire thing. It's about roughly 1.5 cups dry, and it comes out to double the size. Or you could use another type of farro. This one on the back says it takes about 20 to 25 minutes to cook. This only took about 10 minutes to cook. So cook it according to your package directions. So that is, now you could, if you're wanting feeding a larger crowd, you can obviously cook more of this and add in the quantities as you go. So it's really not very complicated. So I will come back and I will show you everything chopped up, and then we'll put it together. All right, just a minute. Actually, I'm popping back in before I chop everything up. Wanted to mention too is this is great to be done in stages. You could do this ahead of time. You could cook this several days in advance, drain it, and run some cold water through it to stop the cooking, and then put it into your refrigerator, and it will last a few days before you need to assemble the salad. You could chop these up ahead. I wouldn't chop up the tomatoes ahead. I would not put those in the refrigerator ahead. You could chop up some of this ahead if you need to. You could chop this ahead. You can make up the dressing separately, so you could separate all this stuff out, and then the day that you want to assemble it, chop up your tomatoes, throw everything together. We really like topping this with a little bit of feta cheese, or queso fresca, I think I'm saying that right. That's another type of cheese that would be good. but cheese is optional, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I chopped everything up, and these were all the tomatoes, the 3 big tomatoes and just a handful of little grape tomatoes that you saw. That was the bunch of parsley that I chopped up. You only used about half of that red onion. This is roughly maybe a little less than a 1/4 cup. My garlic, my 3 things of garlic. Now I put in 3 big cloves of garlic, but it may be too much for you, so you can add a little bit and add a little bit more if you want it. It's easier to add in than take out. And I have the yellow zucchini and the green zucchini. I chopped up, in this case I chopped up about half of each. I tend to like the smaller zucchinis, and because it tends to be a lot more tender. So that was that. I have all the farro salad still, the farro, I'm sorry. And in here I put in half a cup of extra virgin olive oil and a 1/4 cup of balsamic, and then I just put a little bit of salt and pepper on here. So basically, again, you're just going to shake that up. I'll shake it a little bit more to emulsify it, but basically you're just simply putting everything together into the same bowl, and you will stir that up. So you're just going to basically combine this, and then you're going to shake this up really well and pour it on, and I'll be right back to show you the final product. Okay, I'm back, and this is the end result. So I mixed everything together, and I'm going to serve it with some feta that I crumbled up. It's really quite an easy salad. It's really the quantities of things and some of the things that you put in really use up what you have in the house. If you don't have any zucchini, leave it out, obviously. You could substitute some cucumber. Really just use your imagination when you're doing this. So it's very, this is quite a big bowl. So you could see this is, if you're by yourself, you could have all of this. If you're taking it on to a friend's house or a picnic or something like that, a gathering, then I would definitely leave the feta off to the side, because not everyone likes cheese. But you could use, instead of feta, you could use ricotta salata. You could also use the queso fresca, I think it is. All 3 of those tend to be saltier cheeses, a little crumbly and drier than some other things. So I would stay with that, or just omit the cheese. If you don't, cheese can be pricey, so if you're on a budget, maybe that's not the best thing to add, but it can, just a little bit can go a long way, and it makes your salad even that much better. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching, and see what is next.